The Massport petrol shredder has been tried and trusted with the garden enthusiast for many years. If you're serious about recycling garden material and putting the nutrients back into veggie and flower gardens, then these machines are for you. The Massport petrol shredders produce a fine garden mulch from organic garden material like plants and leaves, prunings, and even tree branches. Safety equipment is paramount when it comes to operator safety. Massport recommends, at a minimum, appropriate safety glasses, ear muffs or plugs, and gloves when operating power garden products. Let me show you how the shredding is done. The Massport petrol shredder has these 9 flail hammer-type blades mounted onto this rotor. As these spin, the blades crush and shred up the material and drive them into and through the holes on this grate here, mounted on the bottom of the shredder. These small holes in the grate are the reason why the finished mulch is fine and therefore will break down and rot into a usable compost faster than most larger, more commercial shredders. On the side of the rotor, there are 2 chipper blades. These are for chipping larger branches and prunings that are normally too large in diameter to run through the main hopper into the flail hammer blades. Massport uses a variety of different 4-stroke engines with different levels of power to suit different applications. This one is the heavy-duty, reliable Briggs & Stratton overhead valve engine. It's this engine that drives the V-belt that in turn drives the blade rotor system. This drive system is more tolerant to load, and if the blade system does jam, the belt can slip, therefore dramatically reducing the chance of any damage on moving components. The best way to show you how this machine works is to demonstrate it. To start, we make sure the engine has the recommended amount of oil in and is filled up with fresh low-octane fuel. Turn the engine on here, set the engine speed to fast and slide the choke lever across. Gently, but with a firm action, pull the starter cord and the engine will start to run. After a few seconds, turn off the choke and the engine should be warm enough to run. At this time you can set the engine to idle. However, we recommend when in operation, the engine is running at full revs. Let's put a few branches and weeds through. There we are, nice, fine mulch, ready for composting. It's important to note that different organic materials act in different ways when shredding. For example, we wouldn't recommend you try to shred up flax, palm leaves, or other similar fibrous leaves, as it's prone to tangle around the rotor shaft. When shredding wet or fleshy-type vegetation, it's recommended you mix this with dry material like these prunings here and branches. The dry, abrasive action you get from these will drive wet material through the grate and reduce the chances of blocking. If wet vegetation is the primary use for the shredder, we would recommend you use this optional bar grate in place of the small hold grate. This will allow easy transfer of wet material through the blades and out the grate, reducing blockages. If the shredder does get blocked or jammed, Massport have designed easy access. Let me show you. Turn off the engine, remove this R-clip and pull the pin. Grate drops down and any obstruction can be cleared. To refit, push up grate, line holes up, insert pin, and replace R-clip. You're ready to go again. The Massport petrol chipper shredder is easy to move around your property with this rear handle and pneumatic wheels. Just tip it gently back and push or pull to suit. The Massport chipper shredder has a very safe hopper design. The extra height ensures the operator does not come into contact with the spinning blades, negating the risk of injury. Tip: the easiest way to collect your processed mulch from the underneath of shredder is by placing a cover like this on the ground and wheel the machine on. This way, you can continue to shred without having to empty bags, and once finished, pull the cover up like this and dispose, leaving the ground clear of debris. Massports are proudly designed and engineered in New Zealand and sold all around the world. For more than a century, outdoor power equipment has just one name: Massport. 100 years in the making.